Good evening, everyone. We'll start the session now. Now, the last class we discussed about the introduction to the automation testing, right? First topic which we discussed about the introduction to automation testing. In this, I explained what is software testing. It is a combination of verification and validation. Software testing is a combination of verification and validation. Then we discussed about the types of software testing. So there are two types of approaches to test the applications. One is called manual testing. The second one is called automation testing. One is manual testing, other one is automation testing. Right. What is manual testing? Without using any automation tool, test engineer directly interact with the application to verify actual behavior while performing operations is called manual testing. Without using any automation tool, test engineer directly interact with application to verify actual behavior while performing operations is called automation testing. For manual testing here, what we do here, test cases we have to prepare as a test engineer. Directly you are going to interact with the application. With help of the test cases, we are going to test the application. Based on that, we are going to provide the test status in terms of pass or fail. This is called manual testing. The advantage of the manual testing, it is simple and easy to perform for small projects. Less cost it will take for small project compared to the automation testing. Next one, automation testing. What is that automation testing means? Automating human activities in order to validate the application. So automating human activities in order to validate the application is called automation testing. A test engineer can use some tools to test the application. But whenever we go for the automation testing, we need to develop the automation test script. We need to develop the automation test script for automation testing. So advantage of the automation testing is fast in execution, more consistency, more reliable. So automation test scripts are reusable and repeatable. So these are the advantages we have when you go for the automation testing. Right. Now, automation test scripts are repeatable, reusable. Disadvantages or limitations of the automation testing. Automation testing tools are expensive. Skilled automation test engineers are required. Skilled automation test engineers are required. Some of the technologies or environments are not possible to automate. So these are the limitations are there. Next thing, project selection criteria. How to decide which projects we can go for the automation testing. So generally, size of the project. Size of the project. That means more number of functionalities available. The size of the project. Or function point analysis also are going to call. Then the scenarios which are going to take more time when you go for manual testing, more human resource required, multiple releases are expecting for a project. So these are the cases we have to go for the, so that kind of project we can go for the automation testing. There's a project selection criteria for automation testing. Then tool selection criteria. So three things they have to consider. One is which tool we can go for the automation testing. First one, return on investment, whether we have to go for the commercial tool or non-commercial tool. Commercial tool or non-commercial tool. Second thing, usability of the tool. Tool have the capability to develop the automation test script automatically. Tool can generate the automation test script automatically. Next one. So some tools have the capabilities to record, or some tools have the drag and drop script is going to generate. You no need to write the script manually. There's a tool selection criteria. Then compatibility of the tool. Different browsers OS supports or not. Also they have to see it is like this. Then what I said that automation testing team activities in real time. So tool evaluation, analyze the test scenarios. Okay, like this. So then defining the framework to do the automation testing by automation architect, developing automation test script execution, maintenance of the scripts. These are the activities which we are going to do. Right. Now, up to here, yesterday I explained. Is it clear, my everyone? Okay. Now, some of the major activities during manual testing and automation testing. If I go for the manual testing, what are the major activities we do? If we are going to the automation testing, what are the activities we are going to perform? Now, if I go for software testing, we have the two kind of approaches for manual testing. Software testing, right? First one is manual testing. The other one is called automation testing. Manual testing. The second one is called automation testing. If I go for the manual testing, first one, we need to identify test scenarios. Based on the scenarios, we need to prepare test cases. We need to prepare the test cases. Based on test case are prepared, then we can go for the execution of test cases. So do execution time, if you got any defects, then we can go for the defect reporting. Then after defect reporting, make sure those defects has to be resolved by the developers, getting it fixed. So these are the major activities which we have to the manual testing. Identify test scenarios. Based on the scenarios, prepare the test cases. Then we can go for the execution of the test cases. So defect reporting, getting it fixed. These are the major activities which we have. Coming to the automation testing. So when you go for the automation testing, the major activities will be the first one. So identify automation test scenarios. After identify the test scenarios, based on those scenarios, we need to develop the automation test script. We need to develop the automation test script. So then we can go for the execution of automation test script. We can go for the execution of automation test script. Then execution of automation test script. Then after execution, we analyze the test result. What are the scenarios are passed? What are the scenarios are failed? Further, we have to analyze the test result. Then we can go for the defect reporting, and then make sure those defects should be resolved, getting it fixed. So these are the major activities which we are going to perform. Okay. So these are the major activities during the manual testing and automation testing. Okay. So now, see, when I go for the automation testing, everything we are not going to prepare automation testing in our project. Some scenarios only we are going to prefer. Which scenarios are going to prefer for the automation testing? The basic selection criterion, the scenarios which are more suitable for the automation testing is the scenarios which are complex to perform manually, and the scenarios which are complex to perform manually, and scenarios which are taking the more time when you go for the manual testing. That is the thing. The scenarios which are more repeatable and complex to perform manually, those kind of scenarios generally we are going to prefer for automation testing. Scenarios which are preferable for automation testing. The general selection criteria, which are more repeatable and complex to perform. Complex to perform. Example, build verification, test scenarios, regression test scenarios, the retesting scenarios. Here, during the automation testing, retesting means the scenarios which are required multiple set of data to validate. Suppose I have to check the one registration functionality in the application. For thousand customer details, I want to check thousand customers can I register or not in the application. So this type of things where we can go for the automation testing. That's what saying that. So which scenarios are preferred for the automation testing means generally scenarios which are more repeatable and complex to perform. Those kind of scenarios are preferable for automation testing. Then the scenarios which are not preferred for automation testing, which are not repeatable and easy to perform manually. That's the general selection criteria. Those things are not preferable for automation testing. Example, GUI or user interface test scenarios. GUI, graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Test scenario. Like look at the feel of the application. This kind of scenarios. Usability test scenarios. Usability test scenario like user friendliness or ease of use of application. Those kind of scenarios. One-time testing activities. One-time testing activities. Informal testing activity. Without proper planning, you want to go for testing, not preferred. Informal testing activities. Test cases that are newly designed, not at execute at least once. So when the return on investment is negative, that means manual testing is easier compared to the automation testing, less cost. ROI means return on investment. When the requirements are changing frequently, when the requirements are changing frequently, Okay, these are the scenarios generally not preferred. We do manual testing only. See, as a note. So if one project they decided to go for the automation testing, still they will going to maintain the manual testing team also because this type of scenarios manual only we are going to do. So that means for one project, there will be a manual testing team as well as automation testing team. Both teams can work for a one project. For one project, there can be manual testing team and testing. Both teams can work for a project. Whereas some projects automation testing is an optional. They may not going to do automation testing. Okay, like this. Now there is a simple question can be asked into when we can start developing automation test script and when we can develop the test cases. Generally, whenever requirements are finalized or baselined, we can go for the test cases we are going to prepare. Whereas once we got the stable build from development team, so then only automation testing team will develop the automation test script. After getting stable build from development team, then only we develop the automation test script. Okay, these are the at least 2 to 3 questions we can expect in the interview point of view from this introduction to the automation testing. You are the fresher or experienced automation test engineer. You are the manual test automation, irrespective of that, at least 2 to 3 questions we can expect in the interview point of view from the introduction to automation testing portion. Okay, the next introduction to the selenium, right? Introduction to selenium. Second topic is introduction to the selenium. So it is a free tool, that means non-commercial tool. No need to pay any amount. Directly we can download from the internet. We can use this tool in our project. Right. That is a free tool. No need to pay any amount. The free tool. Second one, it is an open source tool. Sir, what is the meaning of open source tool? Most of the case, free tool, they're going to say, not like that. So there is a difference. It is a free tool that is non-commercial tool. Second thing, it is an open source tool. Open source tool means source code of the Selenium is available. Source code of the Selenium is available. Anyone can customize the features of the Selenium. Anyone can customize the features of the Selenium. That's what saying it is. Okay, it is available. Anyone can. If you go for the commercial like Tosca, if you ask the source code, I will add the better features. They won't give. But Selenium, it is open source. Anyone can work for the Selenium to update features. Okay, that's what saying that. Now, it is open source. It is used to perform functionality and regression testing. What is the purpose of the Selenium tool? It is used to perform the functionality and regression testing. Functionality and regression testing. What type of applications we can do using this kind of Selenium tool? Using Selenium, we can able to automate the web-based applications. Web-based application means which applications we can able to open using browsers. Which application you can able to open using browser. Browser automation tool. It supports only web-based applications. The browser automation tool. Which browser supports? It supports the almost all the browsers, such as Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Edge browser, Safari browser, like this almost all the browsers. So IE browser, Edge browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Opera, Safari. These are the browsers supports. Supports multiple operating systems. Supports multiple operating systems like Windows, Linux, Mac OS. The OS it will support. Now it support different languages to develop the automation tester script, such as Java, Python, Ruby, C Sharp, JavaScript. This type of things it will support. Okay, more like this. With the extension of the Appium tool, there is another tool, Appium tool. So Selenium plus Appium tool, we can able to automate the mobile applications. We can automate the mobile applications. Then Selenium is a suite of tools. It is not a one tool. We have the different components in the Selenium. So what are the components are there, Miss? So Selenium IDE. Here IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. IDE means for Integrated Development Environment. So it is a plugin for Firefox, Chrome, and Edge browsers. As an extension, we can install it is, but it has the record and playback concept. Selenium IDE supports the record and playback. Okay, record and playback. What is the meaning of recording? Converting our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation script is called recording. Converting our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation script is called recording. The playback while script execution, while script execution, when tool will perform the operations on AUT is called playback. While script execution, when tool will perform the operations on AUT is called playback. So I will show it is no. Mm, I'm going to open the Chrome browser, which I installed as a plugin. Let us understand here. This application operation I want to record. Login operation I want to record. Okay, login operation I want to record. So how it is? I have the installed as a plugin to the application URL. Let me copy it is. Selenium ID I opened here. Project name, the folder name it asks me, click on it. There is a Selenium ID. Now see, there is a record button. I'm not writing anything, just I click on the record. It is asking that which application operations I want to convert into the automation. Paste your application URL. Click on the start record. So it is open application again. You do operations here. Okay, again I'm going to enter the password. So whichever operations I do on application, those operations it is able to convert into the automation script. You can see some statements generated. I will stop record. So test name login test. Click on OK. See when the statements are generated like that. Close it is. The script is generated in the tabular format. Script generated in the tabular format. Okay. Now, if you run it is, I will set some delay and I run it is. So it will open the application and perform operations.
Sir, so we no need to write any command target values in IDE, right?
Here ID, yes, it is not required. It is
Okay,
able to
directly record
capture.
everything.
It will use that
Yeah.
information to recognize the element.
Okay.
But
In the
we have
test
a lot of
cases, we are
drawbacks
the
here.
one. In the test cases, we are the
Problem
one
is
going to write
we are
all
not
this.
going to use Selenium ID. Why?
Okay.
Because we'll have the hard code values here. We can't pass the values to the script during the runtime. So the script is not more reusable. So that is the reason the limitations you see my here. Script is
Okay.
not possible to parameterize. That means passing the data to the script during runtime is not possible.
Okay, sir.
So it won't create test results in the desired format. Once execute completed, there is no reports here. The script is not repeatable. We can't go for the loop statement to execute the script multiple times. So these are the limitations are there when you go for the Selenium ID. So in simple, what are the features are there in the Selenium IDE? Those features are insufficient to automate a complete project. So that is the reason in real time Selenium IDE is not preferred. In real time, Selenium IDE is not preferred. Okay. Then we have the Selenium RC, that is the remote control, can execute test cases on different browsers. It has many disadvantages. So major disadvantage is sometimes script is not going to run successfully. That's the problem we have. Okay. To overcome the disadvantage which are there in the Selenium RC, they introduce a Selenium WebDriver. When they introduce Selenium WebDriver, from that day onwards, it is came more popular in the market. Before Selenium WebDriver, Selenium only 5% of companies are going to prefer. Okay. Like this. Now, next one is Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid means which is used for the parallel execution. Which is for parallel. Parallel execution means so I have three scripts. One after one when I am executing, that is called sequential execution. But using grid, what I can do, so at a time I can connect remotely different systems. Three systems I can connect remotely. I can go for the execution at a time in three systems. That is what we are going to call parallel execution. So here we are not developing any script more. Whatever script is there, that script we can execute on different machines. Now, History of the selenium oxide. Selenium 1.0. It was introduced by Jason Huggins in 2004. The compound selenium 1.0 are selenium IDE, selenium RC, which is deprecated, then selenium grid or grid 1. So selenium RC, grid 1, those are deprecated. After that, Selenium 2.0. Selenium 2.0 was introduced in 2010. What are the components Selenium 2.0? Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, maintained, the Selenium WebDriver, a remote WebDriver. After Selenium 3.0, introduced in 2016. Component Selenium 3.0, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver or simple WebDriver. So remote WebDriver grid 2. These are the versions are there. So in present we have these three only. The most stable version is 3.141.59. The present version Selenium is 4.27.0, which was introduced in November 27th. But recently they updated 4.28.0 they given. The official website for the Selenium is selenium.dev. So seleniumhq.org is the old website it is. So what are the advantages we have in the Selenium? It is a free tool. That is a big advantage. Supports multiple programming languages to develop the automation test script. Supports multiple browsers. Supports multiple browsers. Can execute test cases in parallel. So these are the advantages we have when you go for the Selenium. The disadvantage point of view. Supports only web-based application. Windows-based application we can't automate. Programming skills are mandatory, not user-friendly. It is not one software direct to you to install and to work. So no official support is available. If you stuck somewhere, no one is responsible to give immediate service to you. It won't generate the test results by default. That's the reason other tools we're using, like so log4j, so testng, and extend reports. That is the report purpose we are going to use. It won't generate the support the Node.js, other React.js, Flex technologies. It won't support. So do like this. Now, which component we are going to learn is Selenium WebDriver, where you have to write the script manual only. Selenium ID have the record and playback. Okay. Selenium WebDriver doesn't have the record and playback concept. Everything you have to write manually. Tomorrow I will explain that Selenium WebDriver and what are the softwares are required. I will share the links to you to download for the practicing purpose. Okay. So tomorrow mostly I'm going to explain the WebDriver configuration. Okay. That also I will go to explain to you tomorrow. Okay. And someone who registered for the Selenium, give the message to me in the WhatsApp so that I can add you into the group. Okay. WhatsApp group. Okay. Now, can we open settings? Only browser automation or web applications we can open it. URL is there, you can use it. It's not others. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts are there for anyone? Okay.
Sir,
Hmm.
can you please send yesterday's notes and
From
today?
this one, I will send it.
Thank you, sir.
Share just WhatsApp. Okay.